Okay, so I wasn't going to talk about this, but it just continues to irk me, okay? Because some certain things should be obvious, all right? And they've done it again. And hopefully you're watching. You do not ignore the indigenous or black Americans, ethnic black Americans, when you say anything about New York. It's a slap in the face to completely ignore the indigenous and black Americans. Period. Now let's get to the truth of the matter. White immigrants and the indigenous and black Americans, both enslaved and free, okay, founded and built New York. So let's go ahead and move the immigrant white class aside real quick. Now, when you say immigrants, the indigenous are not immigrants, okay? And black Americans are not immigrants. So stop saying dumb stuff, okay? Because I'm getting ready to prove it to you, okay? Mamdani. I'm going to read it because I done printed out a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm going to read it real quick. Black Americans, both enslaved and free, played a major role in the building of New York City and more broadly New York State after its founding. Okay? So it was founded. Okay, let's go back to the 16 and 1700s, okay? The Dutch West India Company brought enslaved Africans to New Amsterdam as early as 1626, okay? The Dutch. All right, from there that we were all my forefathers were constructing roads, walls, docks in the 18th and 19th centuries, okay? Oh, as a matter of fact, wait a minute. I left something else out. Wall Street. Wall Street. Black Americans helped build Wall Street area, named for the wall. Okay? We know what that is. I'm not even going to get into it. 18th and 19th centuries. New York City had one of the largest enslaved populations in the North until the gradual emancipation began in the 1799 and ended in 1872. Okay? After emancipation, free black New Yorkers formed communities such as Seneca Village, where is now Central Park. They worked as laborers, business owners, artisans who helped shape the growing city. Industrial and modern growth. In later centuries, black laborers and migrants from the South, that's where I'm from, okay? A lot of my family moved up there, okay? During the Great Migration of the 20th century were essential to the city's continued development. I have cousins up there that own businesses, okay? Some mighty big ones too. Black Americans were in construction, transportation, cultural life, okay? Everybody knows I love talking about this Harlem, baby. Harlem, the Harlem Renaissance. Black Americans were foundational for real in bringing a whole bunch of immigrants, the attraction of immigrants into New York. New York wasn't even popping without us. It wasn't even popping. Fort Amsterdam, now Battery Park area, built by who? Black folks. The Burial Ground Monument. Of course, I said Seneca Village, Brooklyn, and the waterfront. The enslaved and later free black workers helped to build Brooklyn shipyards, docks, factories, all throughout the 18th and 19th centuries. Black sailors, dock workers, tradesmen played a vital role in New York's rise as a maritime power. Then they mentioned, just like I said, I got ahead of myself, Harlem, because I love talking about that. Harlem became the cultural capital of Black America, home of the Black Renaissance, shaping literature, music, especially jazz, and art world freaking wide. Okay? Don't ignore Black Americans. Buildings in Harlem's historic district were often built or renovated by black laborers and craftspeople. And yes, we owned real estate up in that bad boy. Okay? Real estate investor, businesses. Okay? Throughout the 20th and 21st centuries, black New Yorkers have contributed to major construction projects, bridges, subway expansions, skyscrapers, architecture, public art, and activism for fair labor and housing. Activism? You left out black Americans, all you said was immigrants? And here we go. Well, are Black Americans doing stuff now? Yeah, we never stopped. We never stopped. So let me go and look at what ChatGPT said about your statement. Mamdani's statement is only partly true. From the mid-1800s onwards, millions of immigrants from Irish, Germans, Italians, Jews, Chinese, Eastern Europeans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and others came to New York, and they did help build, right? Some of the modern, infrastructure. So they helped build some of the modern infrastructure. Subways, bridges, they did join in and help. All right? The problem with your statement, though, Mamdani, the statement is incomplete. It leaves out two key groups who are not voluntary immigrants, okay? And they are not immigrants. Indigenous peoples, the Lenape, hopefully I'm saying that right, the original inhabitants of the freaking state you're in, dude. It was their land first, all right? And all their knowledge of the land made settlement there possible. Then you have enslaved and free Black Americans. And I'm going to let you see this one, okay? Because you might not know. Who were forcibly brought, not immigrants, whose labor literally built early New York's foundations, forts, roads, docks, Wall Street, etc. And ChatGPT also says how you should have said it, okay? So let me read how you should have said it, Mamdani. New York City was built by indigenous peoples, enslaved Africans and their descendants, Black Americans, and immigrants from around the world. That version honors the full chain of human effort, from those who were here first, to those brought in bondage, to those who arrived seeking freedom or opportunity. Don't ever leave out indigenous. Don't ever leave out Black Americans, ethnic Black Americans, because it really pisses us to flip off, okay? You don't take credit for what the flip you didn't do. You take credit for what the flip you did do, but don't sit up there and cut out history for when you first got here. No, that's some bull crap, okay? You go back. If you're going to represent New York or any place in the United States of America, you make sure you understand that Black Americans and the indigenous were freaking here, and we are not immigrants. And it was us who suffered the most, okay, at the building of this freaking nation. Nobody else carried the full weight of the United States of America like the Black Americans and indigenous. Nobody.